or you can get with that. I think you'll get with this, cause this is where it's at.
What's up, everybody? We are here to give our thoughts on the Yacht Rock documentary that came out not too long ago on Netflix. Look, I'm just going to go ahead and say this was mind blowing, just to say the least. And we're going to get into it, man. We're really going to get into it. We've all seen it. So let's go around the horn, man. I'm just going to go right out and say it. It was very interesting, and I fucking loved it. Phenom, what are your thoughts, man?
Ditto. I was entrenched. This is one of the only shows I watched and I didn't have my phone out. I was deeply entrenched in it.
Yeah.
When I saw the trailer for it, Corey, we talked about Corey. Did you see the album? Yes, we were super excited about it. One of the bigger things that I learned was I didn't know yacht rock was coined in 2005. I just always thought it was out there, yo.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely get into more details about it. What was your first impressions, when you watched
No,
it?
I was happy to see it and enjoyed watching it. You know, learning about a lot of songs that we've actually reacted to and probably will react to in the future. So, no, it was a good documentary. I mean, it was a good learning experience. You know what I mean? As far as they had a lot to cover as far multiple groups, so couldn't deep dive into all of them. But as far as like just the overall background history, no, it was good, man. I enjoyed it.
So you were saying earlier, Phoenix, that the term yacht rock was not coined until 2005. Dude, I was on the same boat as you. I thought it was always called yacht rock, but it was not called anything until these group of kids decided to just collect all these albums and songs and do this thing called Yacht Rock web series, kind of making comedy skits about these people, you know, like Steely Dan, Michael McDonald, Christopher Cross. I'm sorry. Like, who would have ever thought that would have coined the term yacht rock that we're using today? But I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Had no idea about that.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy with that as far as that goes. I wouldn't call them kids, so Corey, we ain't gonna call them kids. They were actually, comedians. Those motherfucking young adults, yo. Yeah, they won't like teenagers out here. Well, but they were young adults. I give them they shine, yo. JD Reisner, Hunter Stair, and Lane Farnham. But yeah, it's crazy that the term was just off a web series, and that's early internet. So as far as early web, web shit, YouTube shit, and all that, I don't even know if it was on YouTube. It was like some MySpace shit. Who knows what the shit was?
It was it didn't come on YouTube until later, but it was on some other channel of web stuff. Yeah,
so
crazy.
Yeah.
But I fucking loved it, man. I learned so much about yacht rock that I had no idea. I know, Phoenix, you got some things that you want to find out about, but I could say, which I know, Phoenix, you probably already got on your list. I never knew that Steely Dan is like the godfather of yacht rock. No idea. None. We have this Steely Dan on this channel. Fantastic shit. Yeah. Never knew that they were the backbone of what spawned out what we know as yacht rock. Never knew that. And they fucking hate calling it yacht rock too. They fucking hate that.
It's crazy that you say that because they did like this Venn diagram or tree of Steely Dan and how many artists they work with or they influenced. And for them not to like embrace the term yacht rock, and I say them, Donald Fagen is the only survivor, or one of the survivors of Steely Dan. And the funny thing is, when the director called him, he's like, "Hey, is this Donald Fagen from Steely Dan?" Like, yes, we're making a documentary about yacht rock. He's like, "Oh, word, go fuck yourself," and hung the phone up, yo.
Yes,
I was like, I didn't know if it was for real, but nah, he really
legit.
Like it, yo. But and the thing about it is, Steely Dan, I mean, they did a deep dive into Steely Dan's work on it. Yes. Like I already touched on it. They couldn't do everybody, but there was the creme de la creme that they did touch on. And Steely Dan has some music, bro. Like, and one thing I learned, the term studio musician. Never knew what a studio musician was. I mean, if I gathered it correctly, is people they hire in to come in and just do music. And they have people that can just come in and sit there and fill in the gaps, the melodies and all that things, and they get paid to do it. So they work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that was one of the bigger things in it.
Yeah. I was familiar with musicians just from watching like old like Motown and other documentaries, because that's what back in the day, that's what everybody had to do. You had, because you played music, so you have motherfuckers just coming there, boom, boom, boom. There might not be the people that go on tour with you.
Yeah.
As far as like when you're making the songs and this and that, come in, what you got? And they'll play some shit, and next thing you know, you got a hit, So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things I wanted to touch on, Michael McDonald, You said, you brought up Steely Dan might be the godfather of that. Michael McDonald's truly the king of yacht rock music, and it was pointed out through that. I did like when they talked about his transition into the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah,
that was very interesting because we've done the Doobie Brothers on the channel, and it's crazy to see the comments because some people are like, "They ain't the real Michael McDonald killed the Doobie Brothers," or the Doobie Brothers sound better before Michael, or Michael helped the Doobie Brothers.
Right.
He touched on that. You know what I'm
He
saying? Because he was like, "I didn't kill it. There was always that. I just brought a different element to it,
Yeah, that I love that he touched on that, because that was a really big thing in our comments when we did the Doobie Brothers. Like, Michael McDonald changed the sound of the Doobie Brothers. They don't sound the same way they used to. And Michael made it very clear that they were doing that before he came along. He said the only difference is he came in with the piano. He said that was it. I came in with the piano and my voice, but everything else was still them. And when you think about it, you're like, yeah, he really did. But Michael McDonald is just so damn good. Like, he's just so damn good. That voice, without question, the voice alone is going to make it good. But Michael McDonald is definitely the king. And I had no idea that he was singing background and doing music on so many people's songs.
Yeah, they all got around.
Yeah.
This brother was traveling. He was everywhere. He had his fingers in everything. It was really crazy. I loved it.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, he had his trusty keyboard. And the thing about it is they brought him in there to play, and they're like, "Oh, we keeping him." But one funny part was you brought up the point that he was working with everybody. They had a skit with Rick Moranis dressed up as Michael McDonald.
Was so good.
Yeah.
And he was just running from studio to studio.
Yeah.
He does a Michael McDonald woo sound and jump to another one,
He would get in his car and ride to another studio, run in, put his headphones on, sing a tune, and run out. That was a funny skit, I love that skit too.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, You said Kenny Loggins was a jingle writer, and you did say that. I'm never gonna let you live that down, we do have a video with that.
Yeah,
but
who he was,
But then you changed your tune when you started listening to earlier stuff with him. Did you know he co-wrote "What a Fool Believes" before that? I just thought it was just Michael McDonald, but him and Kenny Loggins wrote one of the biggest song of that year.
Biggest.
He wrote. Kenny Loggins ended up writing a lot of big songs, so it doesn't surprise me when they go back. How can I say, like, it opened my eyes. Oh shit! Like, he did this, he did that. Because I know, like, Michael McDonald's like the king of that shit, but Kenny Loggins was all over that shit as well. Like, every group, it was like Kenny Loggins here, he was there, he was there, he was there. So, like, he was jumping around everywhere too, and and he kept it going even after the fall. So, Kenny Loggins is super talented, he know how to write a song, man, and I ain't gonna hate on him for that. And fuck it, y'all can hate on me for calling him a jingle writer, but I didn't know his catalog. So, at the same time, I don't even know when I called him a jingle writer. So,
I think it might have been I think we were talking about something, and then when you listen to it, you was like, "Hold up, he wrote this? Oh, this is good." And you, in all fairness, you did retract your statement and gave him his props,
I already know, but I'll just be the hater, He's a jingle writer, He did it the best. So
I didn't even know Kenny Loggins was in a group prior to him going solo. I didn't know that either till this.
Yeah, Loggins and Messina, and then they broke up, and then he ventured out on his own. The funny thing is, him and Michael McDonald wrote "What a Fool Believes," and Super Smash won awards and all that stuff.
Yep.
And they didn't write another song till years later when they ran into each other. It's like, yo, we got to write another one. Got to get the sophomore jinx. Let's go ahead and write a crappy shit.
Yes.
And we'll see what happened.
Yeah.
And like, well, this is it.
Yeah.
Why I'm going to number one anyway.
Number one, yo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, they did not want to write another song because they felt that they couldn't. Granted, they didn't want the sophomore jinx. And they felt that they were not going to do another good song. It's like, let's just write this shitty one and get out the way. But even that was a smash. I'm surprised that they didn't continue to write more songs together, man. Wouldn't they? Just imagine the songs we would have had to this day if they just continued to write songs together, but they just, got a little nervous. And this is it. That was my first time really hearing that song from the documentary. It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's definitely good, yo. Yeah.
We did so many songs. I swear I thought we reacted to the song, but maybe we did.
We did. This is it.
All right, there we go.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
we did. That's what you get.
We do so many songs, man. I mean, look, but
I was like,
I'll be honest.
The song.
It sounded familiar to me, but they only give you a clip. They only give you a clip, and I was like, "Oh, this shit sound good." And I was like, "It do sound kind of familiar." But yeah, there you go, man. Kenny Loggins fucking shit. I loved it, yo. I loved it.
It's funny though, because like to kind of circle back on Michael McDonald working with different people, he worked with fucking Steely Dan, yo. Like he toured with Steely Dan.
Yes, he did
first before he went to.
About that.
So it was just so many nuggets of like, 6 degrees of separation going on in this whole joint. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with the musicianship that everybody had. Everybody was dipping in everybody's group, either playing on their albums, playing on their records, or singing background, because Michael McDonald sang background on a lot of people's shit. I didn't know that.
Well, with the musicianship, the one thing like Phenom touched on before, like the studio musicians, is just like motherfuckers could play, they come in, rock it out. Like it didn't need to be like a certain genre or whatever. They can come in and rock it out. And it wasn't even so much like they were all like classically trained or whatever. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers just got together in high school and just motherfucking learned how to play, learn how to see, learn how to read some music, and motherfucking learn how to, rock it out. And that's why the motherfuckers kept getting picked up. You know what I mean? So that's how they like kept getting spread around. So I definitely enjoyed that part. Like that kind of inspired me. Like, when you just learn your craft, you can, you just gotta get out there. So they definitely did the things. They definitely got out there.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the musicship or whatever. But
musicianship,
like kind of tap into Toto. I didn't know Toto was that young, killing it, because the people was bringing them in to do what Ali said, like be studio musicians. They was in high school doing this shit.
Yeah. One guy was in high school. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was like, we're gonna form a band later. You know what I'm saying? They ended up forming a band and doing stuff. Doing the channel, people say, Toto wrote. They played for Michael Jackson and all that stuff.
Yeah. I heard, but it's legit. They played with Michael in the studios. Yeah. It's crazy.
One thing
I gotta give it up for Toto though. Oh, go ahead, Phoenix.
I'm about to. People owe us a super apology, yo.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all picked it up either, yo.
Well, they just said, be apology, but all right. No, look, that's what I feel.
They don't owe Ali an apology for Rosanna, because everybody love Rosanna except Ali.
I love Rosanna.
But I will say this: everybody who was on that Africa video who was hating on us, they owe us a super apology. Yo.
But y'all niggas loved Africa. I was the motherfucker said this was trash.
We did. All of us caught flack about them going to Africa, writing the song, and the lyrics ain't make sense.
I'm gonna rewatch that video because I already know because I was motherfuckers talking.
Well,
shit.
As far as I remember, I said I liked the song, but I totally thought it was odd that they were singing about Africa. Like it was lyrics in the song that was kind of off. But either way, this documentary gave the stamp on that even Toto thought this song was like, it's a throwaway. They put it as
even
the
though
last.
the music in this, The music in it is fire. The music, I love the music. But they was like, this song, the lyrics don't make sense. We ain't never been to Africa. All the stuff we was saying, and we won't say it like in a bad way. And they said the video too.
And I know,
and
I was glad there was one dude on the documentary was like, "Yo, the video's crazy," and y'all act like it ain't crazy. When I was saying it was crazy, and I felt like I was crazy because I don't go back and watch it because I swear I was saying it was crazy, and y'all was like, "No, that's all right."
I probably said it was all right.
I already know you said,
bro. We caught.
I think we can both agree. He said he liked it, but I'm gonna tell you, I was like, I know I'm not crazy for saying this, but it's keeping it positive because Toto they are talented. And they're some good ass musicians. And like, I mean, you know, they're good. Quincy Jones, like, basically, like by the end, it was like, yo, he basically had the whole Toto band in there by the end, like working on mics and shit. So I mean, like, it's not like a damnation. I don't even know, like a nail in the coffin on Toto type shit. Like, I don't fuck with Toto. I mean, it's different times. So I realize it's different times, but I can also realize, yo, this is like stupid as fuck, but it is what it is. Shout out to Toto. They're talented as fuck. They can sing, they can play, they can do everything.
But look, real talk. The song is still a great song. Like the instruments, the way it's sung, the hook. I think what it is that it's just the words that they use. Like they're saying Africa.
Yeah, he said it in there. He's like,
he
said, we got to sing the Serengeti. We got to sing these lyrics. They were like, oh my God.
Yeah. That was the part that was funny.
I can't say I don't like Africa. Like I like the melody, I love the hook and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it's one of those songs. It might be stupid as fuck, but it's still I can see why people love it. You know what I'm saying? I can't take that away.
Great song.
You know what I'm saying? And then they were like, "Yo, people are redoing this song," and it was a whole trending thing where everybody was. He was like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They didn't. They loved the song. Well, I won't say they loved the song. They didn't think the song's going to be as big of a hit because they literally put it as a last track on the album. The last track on the album.
You know what I'm saying? And not just about
being a hit for them.
If you follow the channel, we keep it a buck on the channel. We say we don't like it, especially Ollie. Ollie be like, "Oh, shit is trash." You know what I'm saying? But people will shit on like, "No, you don't know." Like, if you go back, that's probably one of our least liked videos. Or most commented on, like, we don't know shit.
We can get off of Africa, yo.
But no, all right, I'm about to flip it, yo. So we go from Africa, but to the first song, Hold the Line was their first song that came out and was a super smash hit.
Huge.
Super smash hit. You know what I'm
saying?
Hold
the Line. And I'm go ahead, because I'm trying to remember the documentary, but go ahead.
They had that hit. And they couldn't get another hit after that until they got to Rosanna.
Yeah.
You know
and then we talked about this on the video. It was about a particular person, and he confirmed that in the documentary. That look, you know, she was easy on the eyes. Who wouldn't sing about her? You know, So
she was fly, yo. Everybody had she was fly when she came to the crib. Everybody had a crush on her, yo.
Yeah. I love that.
But I love the Toto angle, yo. But somebody I want to talk about real quick, Christopher Cross, yo.
Christopher Cross, man. Yeah, it's getting to him.
Bruh. I think they made the best analogy because he swept the Grammys.
He swept
them. Like they were like a baseball analogy. If you was a rookie, you were Rookie of the Year, batting title, the Triple Crown, and MVP. All in your first year.
Yeah.
Where do you come from? There's no way.
Yeah. Where do you go from there?
You can't.
You can't. Yeah.
So he got kind of pigeon-toed into a spot, but his music was great too. He was a big dude.
Like, yeah. It is. You know, and look, not no afraid from Chris Cross, but the way the music industry is now, image is a big deal. So with Chris Cross being a bigger guy, he might not have even made it in today's music world. But he was so good.
He didn't have any style though. I would say this. I'll give you an example like Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is a super big guy tattoo, but he has this this aura around him. Chris Cross
Yeah.
was just a musician. He didn't move
Just a
around,
mu-
just
yeah.
played and sung.
Mhm.
You know what
He
I mean?
even talked about that, how he was more of an introvert. So when the music age came out and he had the force to be on camera and do videos, he didn't really feel comfortable with that.
Definitely
You
gonna
know,
talk about that.
and I get that, and I felt bad for him because you could tell he really wanted to really have another good album, but he's, you know, once he made that first album, it was hard to recover from such a high status. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
Fuck it, I just gotta be the hater, yo. The hater in me. Honestly, I was gonna say, yo, watch this documentary. Just watching it, just off watch. Christopher Cross might be a nice guy. I think the way he came off in this documentary, like you could tell he was, to me, like less than in his head. He was like less than Mike McDonald, less than all these people. Cause I mean, just the way he was like, it's almost like, yeah, I did this, I did that, I did this. Like he was like it's subtle, bigging up himself, yo. And the reason being, yo, because we listened to the one song he had with the shorty. Like I think that was the song they did.
We did Sailing.
Sailing.
Yeah,
that was Chris Cross Sailing.
That shit was kind of trash. But that was the same
What?
joint. We did Ride Like the Wind, though, I think too, didn't we?
No, we didn't. We are gonna get to that one.
But either way, but he did a joint. I thought he did with a duet with a shorty. We did.
That was. I know Michael McDonald did one.
No. Dog, you done already lost me now. You done said
but either way,
was trash.
I mean, I'm sure I didn't like it when we watched it.
So
I mean, let me just
Sailing is trash.
We can talk.
Song of the year.
I mean, I ain't just say it was trash. That's probably a strong word. It just wasn't that good. I mean, it was what it was, yo. But he came across, but even with what they was talking about, just his music in general, like I mean, like he wanted to be like the Steely Dan, like the musicians give it. Like he wasn't like his own person, so to speak, yo. And he was probably like when they started manufacturing, you know, whether they don't just say it just because he had the number one hits, and they like him. He seems like a nice guy outside of him trying to prove himself. But yeah, he was never going to make it, yo. He ain't had no personality, no. I'm just gonna say he didn't come off that great to me, yo. To me, he came off as like you could tell he was less than, at least in his head, and that's the whole thing. It's just all in your head, yo. You can be like confident in yourself, or I'm not Michael Jordan, yo, but I'm still motherfucking. You know what I mean? I'm still Scottie Pippen.
He did talk about that. He touched on that.
I should say he's a Scottie Pippen. I shouldn't even say Scottie Pippen. You know, I'm still Dwayne Wade or somebody. You know what I mean? So, like, just the way he came off, like, if you watched, like, the way he was talking, I was like, he's an asshole, kind of, sort of. And then, I mean, as we going further, I was like, he's all right. But yeah, you still a less than. Honestly, I called that from the beginning. And once they said his second album fell off, I was like, yeah, I saw that shit coming a mile away. Like,
I would say this. So I think, like, he kept saying he wanted the Steely Dan sound. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to do this. And the people was like, if you say this again, I'm walking out, yo. And he came out with Sailing, and when that shit skyrocketed, and then he got boxed into that kind of sound. He couldn't venture out. Except for the ride.
But he didn't have because he didn't have a sound. That's the you said that's the issue. The issue is he
worked with Steely Dan before. Like
his sound was I want to be Steely Dan, and he didn't have his own thing. Like you can always be like I want to something be like something, but you gotta be your own person though.
He was forced. I will give you that. He was forced to pivot from that because he's like, yo, you're not them. You need to have your own sound. And then when he started doing those ballad type songs, people loved it.
But that wasn't him either, though. That's what I'm saying. He was never him.
Yeah, he said that. That's why his albums ain't do good after that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment earlier. Like he talked about that period after that hit where it was just nothing he could do was going to do anything because they were expecting a certain sound because that one song he came out with was just so big. There was nothing else he could do that was going to help him. He couldn't climb any further. So anything he was going to do was going to be trash unless he came out with another slow song. And he's never going to come out with another slow song like fucking sailing.
I mean,
he was never going to do that.
He came out with author's theme.
I don't like those words though. Like, no, he could have came out with another song. It may not have been the biggest hit as Sailing, but it didn't have to be trash.
Like Ride Like the Wind, what I heard was good.
Yeah.
But I want to tie two things together because Christopher Cross and Kenny Loggins, because Ali brought it up first. Well, what I said about the jingle writer stuff. Both of them became jingle writers for movies because you alluded to it earlier. Video killed the radio star. Yeah. That was probably the biggest epiphany I had watching the documentary, because when videos start to come, these people aren't actors. Like Michael McDonald said, that's like taking somebody from silent screen to the talkies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been crap all your life. You've been just playing instruments. That's all. You're not an actor. You're not this. You just want to play music. And then they force them to get on camera. Some people did it better than others. Like I think they're talking about Dire Straits.
I'll say that, but I'm go. Keep going. My bad. Keep going.
No, I'm saying like, some groups pivoted from that era and was able to do videos, but a lot of them couldn't do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I could see that. That was an epiphany for me as well, because when you're a musician and you're used to rocking out in the studio, getting on stage, doing that, it's a whole different ball game when you have to all of a sudden change your mindset and think, okay, now it's about how do I appeal? Visuals. How do I look? How do I dress? What can I do on camera to make people excited about me, so I'm not just standing in a corner just looking in, especially when you got people coming out in the 80s, like they said, like Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, these other people that were able to take what MTV was doing and bring it into their fold. Even though they may not have liked it, they were able to pivot and make that change. And they were the ones that lasted, like Genesis and Phil Collins. Like, Phil Collins is a musician, but he understood what he needed to do and how to do something different to make himself last when the video became more than what it was. But I could totally see it. Folks like Christopher Cross, fucking Michael McDonald, Steely Dan, like none of these groups, they died after the videos came out. Right. And Kenny Loggins is one that is a really good example on how he had to find another way in this change. And
but that's what I think that, well, this is to me that proves what I'm not gonna say. It's just in my head is that I think that was over exaggerated. Yes, it played a factor, but that was definitely over exaggerated. Somebody like Christopher Cross, like. It wasn't so much, you gotta do so much for video. Look, if you're a good performer, you're a good performer. Trust me, I swear, I bet you people that once saw Christopher Cross in person was probably like, yeah, he had a decent song, but he was boring as fuck. Like, you see these other people, like, you could be like, Steely Dan died out. There's like the music changed. Like, it wasn't just the videos, the music changed. These motherfuckers was out since 1970. Like, this shit's like 15 years. Like, think 15 years ago, who you was listening to now and to this. So I thought that was way overplayed, because somebody like Michael McDonald, who could sing, whatever, he kept up with the times. Next thing you know, he got a hit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the motherfuckers that if you can do hits, you can do hits. And it's just the fact of kind of keeping up with the times. So, like, I think it was just a timing thing, honestly. Like, the video, yes, the music videos might have pushed it a little faster, but I think everybody, if they were still dropping hits, it would have been good. But I mean, they had their run. They had their run. Like every genre, every music has their run, So every artist has their run. It's just they already had a decade run, Like, when your decade is up, guess what? Sometimes it's done. You just got to hit. Yeah,
another genre comes out. Like I said, that's why the people who still tour today, they tore off their run.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I'm not knocking that, but I can't discount how they was feeling about having to get on the video. Like, they didn't want to do that shit.
But what I'm saying is, you already performing. Only thing I do is motherfucker make a performance video, and you've been good, yo.
But those videos at MTV were not performance videos like that. They were not.
Half the videos we watch, 70% of the 80s videos we watch are performance videos. But you do really need to pull this up when MTV came out. The videos.
Okay, what I'm saying is that those videos that really rotated on MTV, they had what's the word I'm looking for? They had color to them. I'm using that as a broad stroke, but they videos, even though they might have just performing, they had color to them. They had stuff that people would keep people watching, whether it was some funny outfit or whatever the fuck it was. Those guys weren't going to do that. Steely Dan damn sure weren't going to do it. Even Michael McDonald's video, when he did the one I keep forgetting, that video is about as simple as plain as you can get, and they probably forced that shit on him to do that. He's literally sitting behind a piano, just fucking singing and talking. It's a very plain video because they showed it. The videos on MTV were not like that.
Was it a hit?
It was a hit. The song
was a hit,
but
it wasn't a hit.
The thing I took about it is they didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't feel like they had.
I would say that. Then don't say that was the reason. I mean, but no, you can't be like the reason they fell off. I mean, MTV ushered them out. No, what ushered them out is either they didn't want to do it, or the time has passed. Yes, the MTV might have accelerated, put a little bit gas on that shit, pushing them out the door. But they was already going out the door regardless. Like even with the Toto shit, like they was saying, yo, the record label was like, yo, if y'all drop another hit, y'all gone. And they end up dropping the Rosanna shit. Like the shit was already like the time. I just think they over exaggerated that. That's all. I just said they over exaggerated what MTV did. No, I think just the times was changing. I mean, how it always changes.
Yeah, there's a certain type of music that comes out. Grunge is a good example. Grunge is a small window, even smaller than yacht rock.
And then that's what I'm saying. You can literally take with it because before that it was big hair bands making big hair band videos. Grunge videos was no motherfuckers on the stage in a club, like whatever. It would be the simplest ass videos. Times just changed, That's all.
Well, what I'm saying is, I agree with you. But my thing is I'm not going to discount how they felt at that time. Like if somebody came in and was like, yo, Ollie, you got to do it this way. And then you don't feel, you say, I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it, but I don't want to. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Do it what way? Just get on camera and sit behind the keyboard and sing like I've been singing? I think some of these motherfuckers is born in their tours and this shit just ain't translate. But it is what it is, yo.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be quiet. I know. Shut up now. But yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pivot real quick. So I'm gonna go back to What a Fool Believes real quick.
Love
that song was a mega hit, and guess what? People do steal other people's songs, That was a big thing. People kept stealing the piano riff and making it on. But so it was crazy. So they started playing different people who just took that riff. You know what I'm saying? Like this Pointer Sisters. When I heard, I'm like, What a Fool Believes,
Right there.
There was a song called Stealing Away. There's a goddamn What a Fool Believes,
And they really literally stole that song. And the song is called Steal Away, which when you hear it, it's right there. It's like, that's What a Fool Believes. Like, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Once that song became a hit, everybody was like, that's what we got to take to make the next hit.
Yeah. It's just like everybody. So,
and the man's gonna say the elephant in the room.
What's that?
Without you. People hate on hip hop. This motherfucker's been selling for a long time.
I was about to get to that. That's actually the transition.
Oh my god.
No, good job.
They talk about that in the documentary.
So it's funny though.
They talk about hip hop, but they ain't talk about how they stole. I mean, I ain't gonna say they stole, but they stole because they won't even know motherfucking get that shit cleared. They just stole.
Yeah, I mean, it was no ski mask and a gun. They just barefaced it, took it,
It's my asset.
So one thing about the documentary I loved is they did have Prince Paul, legendary producer, Gravediggers, De La Soul, and Questlove.
Yes.
They really bigged up yacht rock, that music.
And Thundercat too,
Thundercat is dope, Like I've been rocking with him for a while. He's definitely dope, And shout out to Thundercat because he did a song with Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins.
That's fire. This is fire.
Super fire. I just added it to my streaming service, But what Prince Paul said in it was how hip hop, they pay homage to a lot of that music. They always pay homage to music. You know what I'm saying? It takes a really, really good producer to get a snippet from a song, flip it, and put into the ether, because people go back and see what the original is too. It brings light to both of them. The song Peg by I'm gonna talk about Peg too by Steely Dan. They said Peg, they used that song to promote stereo equipment. It was that good of a song and acoustics. They were hawking stereo equipment because of that song.
Yeah.
And then De La Soul was like, you know what? I love this song too. They did. I know. I forgot that song. How big that song was with De La Soul.
Was that on their first album?
Yep. 3 Feet High and Rising.
3 Feet High and Rising. Yeah.
I didn't know that until I learned from the documentary. I was like, oh, that is Peg by Steely Dan, yo. But hip hop is not the only people that sample and pay homage. You know what I'm saying? Some people call it stealing. We don't call it that. We call it, sampling. You know what I'm saying?
And then one of the biggest hip hop, I guess you could say, samples is one we know that came out with the G-Funk era. Warren G and Nate Dogg doing the Michael McDonald. I keep forgetting. I mean, that's almost spot for spot. There ain't much they changed in that sample, but they took something from what Michael McDonald did and brought that hip hop twist on it, and it was a smash hit for Warren G. But that's another example on how they are paying homage to something from I hate to say a yacht rock era, but those songs from those artists in that era, and letting people know, like, yo, this was some good ass music. Like, you hear that shit you bopping to right now? Absolutely. That was done back then, So I like that.
Absolutely. It was dope, man. I mean, it was
dope.
What was you about to say? Oh,
no, I said it was dope. I didn't realize all the motherfuckers was just like in California. Like, that's just kind of really concentrated area. Like, it was just a small area that ended up producing all that shit. So shout out to them. Something was in the water over there during that time, and they did the thing. And I definitely enjoyed how, like, they took all their influences, whether it was like jazz, R&B, rock, and everything, just combined into one, and like just went ahead.
Actually, I got a term for that. Oh, I have it in my notes. I'm glad you brought that up.
What's that?
Cross-pollination. Cross-pollination.
There you go. That is what it is.
That's
Shout
what they said.
To the bees. Let's go.
They were like the different fusions, jazz, funk, soul, all those things. Everything blended together to make that sound, yo. It was just a good ass listen and a good history lesson, yo.
They said something in a documentary. They said it's the music that you can dance to sitting down. Like, you just jam to sitting down. Like, you don't gotta go crazy, but it just sounds so good. You be like, yo, I'm dancing, but I'm sitting down. That's what this music is. And I think they said something else in the documentary. I hope I get this right. They said yacht rock, everything that's yacht rock is rock, but everything that's rock is not yacht rock. I think that's what they said, something like that. They name certain artists like Fleetwood Mac. They can sound like yacht rock, but they're not really yacht rock. And they had Chicago was on that list, but there are people that can go into yacht rock, but they're not really what we would consider those yacht rock artists, because their sound is not quite that yacht rock. And they really made it known, or to really let you know that there was a specific sound that made it yacht rock. It was the blend of the soul, the R&B, the jazz, all these different types of sounds. And I loved it. How they define that.
So I'm gonna drop a link in the comments, show, because when you just brought that up, they have a yacht ski scale. So they let you know the biggest yacht rock songs and the artists, and it's amazing, yo. Like, What a Fool Believes is 100 on the yacht ski scale. You know what I'm saying?
Number one.
It's the perfect yacht rock song. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it.
Like the first four, you got the Doobie Brothers, Kenny Loggins, Michael McDonald, Airplay, Toto, Michael Jackson, Human Nature.
Oh my God, they brought that up on the documentary.
The dude from Toto, that was crazy.
Yes. Blown away when I found out about that.
Yo, it's amazing listening to the reference. I'm like, yo, this dude wrote this for Michael Jackson.
He wrote it. And they played the demo of his version.
No, he didn't write it for Michael Jackson. He wrote it for himself. And then nobody fucked with it. And nobody fucked with it.
And then Quincy Jones heard it, was like, holy shit, what's that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that was another mind-blowing thing that the guy from Toto wrote it, man. Fantastic, yo. And not only wrote it,
I mean, Toto's
everything, the melody, the way it's supposed to be sang. But go ahead.
Toto's super talented, yo. That's why I don't want people to come off like a total super hater, especially off the old videos. Like I recognize they have talent, yo. It's just their songs haven't been really for me. Well, one song we did, I think I thought
Hold the Line.
Fire. Yeah, Hold the Line was fire, yo. I was like, yo, that's more my style. So that's what it is. It's just like certain songs, certain styles was for me. But I mean, just in general, yo. I mean, honestly, I mean, as Quincy Jones love him, I gotta like him because motherfucking like he knows more talent. He got more talent in his motherfucking pinky toe than I got in my whole body as far as music goes. So he knew he could recognize it, and so Toto, yeah, that human nature shit is definitely crazy fire.
Yeah. I mean, that guy, I think it was like one of the Picard brothers. I can't remember which Picard brother it was. But just the lyrics and the way he was singing it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't sound like Mike, but he sounded like you can hear the reference. I mean, obviously it was a demo, so it's not really a reference. It was his, but he gave it to Mike, and Mike just took it and turned it into his.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that kind of goes back to a bigger point Ali alluded to about stealing or whatever. I don't like that word in music unless, you know, if you're not paying homage to that person or giving a person credit. But there's a lot of people that cover songs, covering a song stealing. I mean, like, do you consider that? Because they didn't come up with it. They didn't come up with the original. You know what I'm saying? So
that's very true.
I mean, well, Yacht, they had a whole industry of cover bands. So there's so many cover bands over here.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't, you know, I mean, that's just every fucking weekend you can find somebody in your city covering these songs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super dope, yo. I might go back and watch it again, yo. It was just that good, man.
Yeah, I was wondering if this was a part one because I was so entrenched in. I was like, man, I don't really want this to end. I want more. But of course, this was just, it was what it was. You going off that Yacht scale, is Michael McDonald and like Kenny Loggins pretty much in the top 5?
Yeah, because Doobie Brothers,
damn,
Kenny Loggins, Michael McDonald, Kenny Loggins, Airplay, Kenny Loggins.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Then Toto start coming in there. Toto, Rosanna, Michael Jackson, Human Nature. Christopher Cross comes up here sailing and stuff like that. Steely Dan's all through it. But like the bigger point that we had at the beginning, like they didn't like being called yacht rock, but they influenced everybody. And we obviously getting to the channel, we got a lot of Steely Dan songs on it, and everything we heard is different. They don't have a sound that's the same. Like all the songs are great individual songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I can see why they could be upset with the yacht rock title. And I mean, this thing, I mean, it came off like some comedians, so it was done in jest, and they even made mention of it in the documentary. Like Michael McDonald, like his last joint he did for the documentary was it was definitely 80s on steroids, like that video. I don't even know what song that was, but I was just showing the highlights of the video. They were just showing the highlights from the video. I was like, yeah, this definitely looks like an 80s video. So
it was a song he did off for a soundtrack.
Running Scared, one of my favorite.
Running Scared.
Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal. And Jimmy Smits was the bad guy, yo. I just watched that shit last week.
Yeah, that's long. Yeah, that's for callback. But when they're just showing the highlights of that video, I was like, oh, this looks like 80s on steroids. So I could definitely see, like, if you were a comedian in the 2000s watching that, you know what I mean? So, blah, blah, like, this is what it is. And that's what they basically characterize all of it off of, like, the later, like, you know what I mean? The later videos, not the earlier shit. So, so I can definitely understand how people who were involved in the music, like, we were motherfucking music, like, in the studio, like, jamming out, doing shit, like, you know what I mean? They shit, honestly, like, that shit, none of that shit even looks like yacht rock.
Yeah, when you look at the artist,
Yeah, you know
It's
what I
not.
mean.
None of them look like it.
It's none of them looks like so.
No,
I could definitely
none
see
of
why
them.
they upset because it's like yo,
Yeah.
this not even this is nothing like us. But that's almost what they. I mean, but at the same time, sometimes you gotta just be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just sort of.
Well, that's what Michael McDonald's like. He's like, you know
Yeah.
what? I embrace it now. It is what
Yeah.
it is. You
It
know,
is what
if
it
they
is.
call.
Guess
Yeah.
what?
I'm keep getting
Sirius XL
checks.
took the phrase yacht rock and made a whole yacht rock station.
They do.
Yeah.
So when they do that, like a major, so it's not terrestrial, but like you got to subscribe to it.
Yeah.
But when they do that, that you got something. You want your songs played in
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Yacht rock is everywhere. Elevators, doctor's offices.
Yeah.
Everywhere. You know what I've wondered when I was watching this, if those guys ever decided, like, you know what, we need to coin this, trademark this name. I seriously doubt they thought it was going to go somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think they did because they.
Could you imagine what it would have been if they trademarked that name? How much money they would have had to this day?
Yeah, it's probably trademarked now, but not by them.
Not by them.
Absolutely not by them.
They sold it for pennies. If they did coin it, but I don't think they were smart because the dudes ain't look like they had any money.
Nah, they were just doing videos for fun.
Just doing videos for fun. Like, let's just do this, get some views, so we can do these couple of weekend shows, my comedy shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I would like to give a shout out to one band that I'm very fond of that I didn't even know was yacht rock until I watched this, Ambrosia. So they had one of their biggest songs that I really enjoyed. The biggest part of me was on there. I was like, oh shit, they giving my band some love.
Was in it. Yeah, the dude from the lead singer was in it.
The lead singer was in it. So I was really happy to see that Ambrosia got some love because that's a really great song. And to hear him how he was really influenced by Michael McDonald and sat down with Michael McDonald, like, how did you do this? And he was the one that kind of came up with the chords and the words and all of this stuff by studying music, like Ali said earlier, to finally come up with this style of singing and this fantastic song, Biggest Part of Me. I'm telling you, I love that song. I didn't know they were considered yacht rock, but hey, I love Ambrosia. So shout out to them. I just want to give a shout out to Ambrosia because they were in the video too.
Yeah. They mentioned another dude. I'm so behind. A black dude, like when they was talking about how black artists started doing it. I mean, because it was good music, everybody started doing it. When we did one of his songs, man.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, we did one of his songs, yo. But I guess
they did name some black. I mean, they said the Pointer Sisters, but it was
James
a black.
Ingram was one of them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
One.
Is it? For some reason, Duke comes out in my head, but I don't know if that's right.
I'm sure somebody.
But it was a guy though. It was Turn Your Love Around. Dun, 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 dun.
People
Don't you turn me down.
Nah, it was like Ben. Was it Ben something?
George Benson.
George Benson. There you go. George Benson.
George Benson.
Yeah. Actually, he's on the Yachtski scale. I just
he is
94.94 rating out of 100.
Oh,
yeah, George
shit.
Benson, Turn Your Love.
Oh, maybe
around. Yeah, that's the song right there.
We gotta get
that. Maybe we didn't do that one. I thought
we have not did that one. We have not. I haven't heard that song.
But I do know that song because
they played it to death when we were kids.
Yeah, we do too many songs. I'm recording that. We do too many songs. I thought we did that song. Yeah, that song is definitely. I was like, oh shit, I love that shit.
Yeah, we gotta do that one. We have not done that one, but that would be a good one to do. Absolutely, because I haven't. First time I heard that song again was when I was watching the documentary. I was like, oh shit, I remember that. Yeah. But this was great. I thought it was a fantastic documentary. I thought it did a very good job paying homage to these artists and this music that we love. And it's so funny that the word yacht rock came from some people making some comedy skits. Who would have ever thought? No. Anything else we gotta say before we close this out? I know Phoenix, you had some notes and want to make sure we don't miss anything.
We touched everything, man. Like one thing they did say from my notes is that it elevated pop music. It gave people dudes feelings, is what they said. He was able to express that you missed your girl, yo. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
But we already kind of knew that in Motown. Motown was already doing that. You know what I'm saying? But like the artists in that genre, they were actually saying, like Ambrosia,
Mm-hmm.
Biggest part of me. I can tell you I loved you. I can tell you I messed up. I can tell you, you know what I'm saying, I miss you. That was one of the big things that came out of it.
And I will say they definitely elevated the music as far as the music goes, like as far as pop music, because I mean it went from like to you know what I mean, like music breakdowns, solos, this and that, like I mean, you know, guitars, drums, I mean like everything. I mean, of course all music had guitars and drums, but I'm just saying just like people like really getting into it, like technical with it, breakdowns, solos, that. Because before then, you gotta think like the 60s into 70s, it was like a lot of, I mean, I hate to say it, it's almost like it is now, like manufactured music. I hate to say it is what it is. It was a lot of manufactured music, like like, you know, formulas. So
formulaic songs.
Yeah, formulaic songs. So they a lot of these songs kind of broke the box as far as what people thought was going to be a hit that ended up turning out hits. You know what I mean? So they definitely like elevated the music, elevated what you could do. Like, all right, maybe that's cool. I can do something outside the box. I don't have to do this, do that. And I wish they would sit all these young musicians down now, make them watch this documentary, not to produce the sound again, but just to see what they said. Like, I mean, Mike McDonald, like for real, he was all throughout this joint. And this shit just made me like appreciate him more because he really was kind of thinking outside the box. Like he was like, "Yo, I did my voice a little different because I wouldn't do this. I was like, I might just do this. I might just do that. I might, you know what I mean? Like we're just doing shit, and that's what music should be." And it's funny. It's like there's doing shit, and there was I know they interviewed one punk rock girl. She was like, "Yo, like they didn't like the music." Because even though it was experimenting, they was honing it in. Like, all right, once we do that, we don't get it right. Like, boom, boom, we don't make it sound just right, dude. Like, it wasn't just like the spur of the moment. It was like spur of the moment. We don't take that spur of the moment. We don't motherfucking fine tune this shit to make it sound like a studio. And that's what it was. So shout out to them, man. Like, they definitely elevated music.
It's funny that you say Michael McDonald's voice, yo. It was so funny. They did so many people imitating Michael McDonald in it.
Oh yeah, everybody does, man.
Everybody, like Corey, you got one that you do. Everybody
does
it, but it's so good. Everybody knows his sound. That's one thing you know. You can't. Nobody imitates Michael Jackson singing. Nobody does. You know what I'm saying? He has one of those voices like you hear it. Oh
yeah.
Who sounds like Michael McDonald? Yo, everybody does that imitation. Yo,
nobody. That's true. A girl even said it on a documentary. She said you could be in a football field a mile away and you'll hear that Michael McDonald in the background. You'll be like, oh shit, that's Michael McDonald. Like, you know his voice.
Yeah, you definitely know his voice.
You know the way he sings, how he sings. It's iconic, man. It's iconic. The brother, you get very rare artists like that. And Michael McDonald, he came in at the right time, man. Really, he did. Really did. I loved it. Well, Yacht rocks. Just like Phoenix got in his thing, and this documentary did rock for me. I absolutely loved it. And as you can see right there, I mean, or over there, depending on how you're looking at it, you know, What a Fool Believes, #1 on the Yosky scale. There you go. But anyway, if you guys believe in us and really love this video, you know what to do. Hit that like, thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know, man, what Yacht Rock songs would you like us to react to that we haven't hit yet on this channel? Because trust me, when I was watching this documentary, I was hearing snippets of a lot of stuff that I just had no idea. So I really like to go down that discography of a lot of these artists, man. And I had no idea Steely Dan was the backbone of it, man. The backbone of all this Yacht Rock we hear. Fantastic. Absolutely. Well, we can close this out. Phoenix, man, great when you agree. Great documentary.
100. Yo, I got to piggyback off Ollie. Every musician needs to see it, but every fan needs to see it.
True that.
If you're watching this video, definitely go back and watch it. It's going to tie together a lot of loose ends, a lot of information you probably already knew, but you didn't know. But just thought that 6 degrees of separation is so important to that time. Like everybody was working with each other, sharp and steel. And we benefit from it today. So
Great way of saying that. Love that. Look, thank you everybody for watching, man. Please give a like, thumbs up to this channel. Put some stuff in the comments below for some yacht rock songs that we may not know and have not done yet on this channel. As always, we are rocking it out every live show Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got 2 links in the description, one for Patreon and one for a member of this channel. You get to choose which one you want to join, because either way, you're joining the inner circle. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back with another documentary reaction review when the next thing comes up. But we hope you love this. And if so, we'll see you next week or next time or the next bat station or bat channel. Anyway, peace out, y'all.
Peace out.